Hey guys, it's MrCrayfish, and today we are going to be comparing the first ever version of my furniture mod 1.0 to the latest version of my furniture mod, which at the time, right now, is version 4.2. So many updates have happened to my furniture mod, and today we're going to be looking at the amazing changes that have happened since the first ever version. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video today. Alrighty, so I'm super duper excited about this video today because I actually found the first version of my furniture mod on one of my old hard drives, and I was like, I've got to do a comparison video because the first version of the furniture mod is completely different to what you guys know and love today. And I thought I would show you guys how it all started because when I actually first released this mod, I never knew it was going to blow up. Now, believe it or not, there is actually only 4 pieces of furniture inside of this first version of the furniture mod. So definitely it was not a big mod when I started off, and now it actually has over 50 pieces of furniture. So absolutely insane to see the progress. But let's go ahead, let's get into this right now, and let's check out the first piece of furniture, which is the table. So in this chest right here, I have all the 4 pieces of furniture, but we're first going to take a look at the table here. And we're going to look at this, and then we're going to take a look at it in the actual latest version of the game. So make sure you stick around to see all the changes with the furniture here. So I'm going to place this down right now. Now prepare yourself, because this is actually completely different to the one we have in the game right now. I should note as well that the icon is actually a texture instead of a 3D model, because back in the day, it was a texture. It was a texture in the first version, not a 3D model. But let's go ahead, let's place this down right now, and boom, have a look at this. So this is what the table looked like when I first developed it. It definitely had a really big stand, and I remember I actually got feedback on that, and a lot of people told me to make it smaller. So that is why it is actually smaller now in the latest version of the furniture mod. I should note as well that the top of this is actually the exact same model. So the top of this top here is still exactly the same. It's just kind of the support bit at the bottom there. I also have a custom texture on it as well, so you'll recognize that this is not even a normal piece of Minecraft. Well, it's not a normal plank texture in Minecraft. I think I put like a little bit of a green tinge on it. I don't know why, but I decided to put a green tinge on it. But what we're gonna do now is switch over to the latest version of the furniture mod and check out the table in that one. So here is the table from the latest version of the furniture mod, and quickly straight off the bat here, we actually have different textures. So now I actually use the kind of bark texture for the top of it, and then for the actual stand there, I use the planks. And as well, you'll notice that the middle stand as well is a lot skinnier than it was in the first version of the game. I should also note as well that you can actually get tables in all the different wood types as well. So we have the spruce, birch, jungle, acacia, dark oak, and then as well a stone table. So that was kind of the extra one that was added on. So a lot more variation in the furniture mod now compared to the first version of the mod. Alrighty, so the next piece of furniture we're going to be taking a look at is the chair. So let's go into the chest here, let's bring it out. So again, straight off the bat, you'll notice that the icon here is just a 2D texture. It's simply just outlined, and then it has a brown color in the center of it. I really did not know what I was doing back then when I was developing the mod, and probably spent like 5 minutes creating the texture for this chair. But let's go ahead, let's place this down right now, and boom, there we go. And again, it is using that kind of greenish plank texture. I don't know why I decided to use that. It kind of looks a little bit ugly. Now you might notice that the model is actually a little bit different. Now I'm not going to tell you guys the change right yet. I'll tell you the change when we actually go check out the latest version of it. But maybe you guys can tell the difference straight off the bat. Now a question you might be asking is, can you actually sit in the chair? And the answer is no. You can't sit in the chair. The first version of the furniture mod did not allow you to sit in the chair. But let's go ahead, let's check out the brand new version, and I'll show you guys the difference with the model. Okay, now I actually thought the model was different in the latest version of this mod, but it turns out, guys, it is exactly the same as the first version of the mod. That is absolutely insane. The only difference is that the seat part is actually the kind of bark texture, whereas the rest of it is still the planks texture, and it actually uses the proper you know, wood types inside of Minecraft as well. So I don't actually have a custom plank texture, it is actually an oak plank. Now ignore the kind of shading effect that is happening due to the shaders. That is actually not a part of the model here, but again, you can actually get it in all the different types of the wood types as well. So we have the spruce, we have the birch, we have the jungle, acacia, dark oak, and then as well the stone, and they look so much better than the first version of the chair in the mod. But I'm really surprised again. I'm really surprised that the model is actually the same, and that's actually really cool to know. It is actually exactly the same, and I can tell because the hitbox is the same. When I actually look down here, I can tell the positioning of the legs as well is in the same position. Oh, and also you can actually sit in the chairs as well. So as you can see, we can sit in it, whereas compared to the first version, you can't. Alrighty, so the next piece of furniture we are taking a look at here is the fridge, and I don't know why I decided to add in a fridge straight off the bat in the first version of the mod, but I did. So let's go ahead, let's go on the chest here, let's go about the fridge. Again, a 2D texture, looks absolutely horrible. I don't know why I decided to do 2D textures, but I did back in that day. But let's go ahead, let's place this down, and this one is most likely going to shock you guys the most, because I feel like this is going to have the biggest change. Well, this one compared to the one in the latest mod, it's going to be the biggest change. So let's go ahead, let's place this down right now. Boom! Have a look at this ugly piece of furniture. My god, this is what the fridge used to look like, guys. It was not a 3D model, it was simply just a block that was actually textured. If we come around the back here, this is actually something that is still in the latest version of the furniture mod, and we actually still have this kind of grill texture. Obviously now it's actually 3D, but back in the day it was actually just a texture like that, and it's actually still the same one. If we come around the front here, you can see, you know, the handles here just textured, and as well the outline, but you can actually access this, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. Okay, so it actually doesn't have an inventory either. It was simply just decoration. That is very interesting. So I actually thought it had an inventory, but it turns out it doesn't. But let's go ahead, let's go to the new version of the mod and see what the differences are. And here is the fridge in the latest version of the furniture mod. Now, to be honest, I actually think it could be improved because this 3D model was created ages ago, but it's still a very big difference since the first version of the furniture mod. So as you can see, the handles here are actually 3D, and I don't know why, but they actually don't stick out. I'm not sure if you guys have ever noticed that, but they don't actually stick out. But if we come around the back here, you'll notice that kind of, I don't know what it's kind of called. It's kind of like a grill. I really don't know what this part of the fridge is called, but they have like these things on the back of it on old fridges. But you can notice that this is actually a 3D model now, not just a texture. It also uses an iron block texture. I like the fact that there's still elements of the first version of the furniture mod still in my furniture mod to this day. So that is actually a really cool thing to know about a lot of these pieces of furniture. And now another change as well is you can actually open these up now. So if you actually right click on the top here, it will open up a kind of a fridge here where you can store food inside of it. And then at the bottom here, we have a freezer. So you can actually create things. So if we go ahead and we got some packed ice out, we got some water, and then we also, I think that's actually it. So pop that in there, click start. It will actually freeze that bucket of water and give you ice. This was actually really cool back in the day because when I actually first added the fridge, you couldn't actually get ice, and this was like a way I wanted to add in so you could actually get ice. So that was a really cool thing about that. But let's head back into the first version and check out the last piece of furniture. Alrighty, so the final piece of furniture we are looking at is the couch, and this one is gonna most likely be one of the most similar pieces of furniture that still looks the same as the one in the latest version of the mod. So let's go ahead, let's grab it out right now. And straight off the bat, again, you'll see that it is a 2D texture. However, you could only get it in one color, and that color being green. As you can see in my hand here, it is a green couch. And let's actually go ahead and place it down, and this is going to be very interesting. So, when I actually added this piece of furniture, you could only get these couches in like this kind of double configuration here. So you couldn't get a single one, you could only get a double one. If you broke it, well, it looks like you could do that. You could actually create half a couch. We can place that down again. Let's go ahead and break that. So it didn't look like I actually added support for kind of fixing breaking the other one as well at the same time. But now you might not actually know this, but I'm pretty sure this model is pretty much the same as the one in the latest version of the mod. Obviously, some slight improvements to make sure it doesn't have any sort of texture glitching. You also notice at the top here that the UVs of the elements here are kind of a little bit weird. Like, it's kind of looks like it's got a stretch texture on the top there, and it looks like it's getting dark in here. Unfortunately, in this version of Minecraft that I'm in, there is actually no commands because this is Minecraft 1.1. But very interesting nonetheless. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at the brand new version and what has changed with the couch. And here we are in the latest version of the game, and we are checking out the couch. Now, this has improved a ton. Now, I want to note straight off the bat that the model is pretty much still the same here. So if we go ahead and we actually do that, and then we'll go ahead and as well grab out the green cactus dye here. Here we go. This is the the couch from the first version of the furniture mod. But you will notice that you can actually extend and shrink the couch however you like now in the latest version. So we can make it as long as we want. We can also put like a corner on this as well, so we can do something like that and create a corner couch. That was the big improvement with these couches, and as well you can get any sort of color you want. So we can make a rainbow type couch here. So let's go red, blue, yellow, green, orange. Let's get out some cyan, and let's also grab out light blue. So definitely a big noticeable change compared to the first version of my furniture mod, and it's really just blowing my mind right now seeing how far this mod has come. Also, I forgot to mention this as well, you couldn't actually sit in the couches in the first version of the mod, but in the latest one you can actually sit in them just like the chairs. But that, my dudes, is going to end up this video today. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go ahead and snap that like button. Let me know if you'd love to see a tutorial on actually how to install this first version on my furniture mod, so maybe you guys can play around with it yourself. I might also be doing a showcase of my Crayfish mod, which again is another OG mod that I developed back when I started programming Minecraft mods. But that's it. I'll see you guys later for some more epic videos. Peace out, my dudes.